Yes, guys, welcome to the Brandon Smith Rugby channel here on YouTube, and it's time for me to pick my team of the round. Round one has just passed on the weekend, and what a weekend of rugby it was here on the channel. We did 2 watch-alongs, and your support on them was incredible. So if you're new here and you're excited for all the rest of the Six Nations, subscribe down below. It's free to do as we push towards 1,000 subscribers. We're going to go through the 15 players that I believe played the best over the weekend, and that would make my dream team. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on my picks and who you would pick. Let's crack on with the backs. So starting with the fullback position, then it can only be one man for the job. It is Stuart Hogg, captain for the day as Scotland won for the first time in Twickenham since 1983, and Scotland were fully deserving of their win, and fair play to them. They took the game to England. They dominated possession. They played in the right areas of the pitch. They controlled the game well. They controlled the tempo of the game, and Hogg's leadership and a few little runs here and there, and his kicking game was on point, and he deservedly goes into my team. Then into the first of the 2 wingers. First of all, we have Teddy Thomas, the French winger, got 2 tries on the day as France beat Italy 50 points to 10. He also got a try assist in this game and looked a little bit back to his best. I know in France there's been some criticism about his playing, about what he's been doing, but today he was exceptional. He really was brilliant for France against Italy. Again, the opposition maybe weren't at the level that we'd expect, but he played fantastic, took his 2 tries, and you can't ignore that at all. Heading into the centres then, this player really stood out, even though he was on the losing team. He played for Ireland. Ireland, of course, lost 16 points to 21 against Wales. It is Gary Vayneros. What a game he had, and his stats are quite exceptional. We'll take a look at them in just a second. He dominated the game. He played beautiful rugby, and he was really the driving force behind Ireland. But let's take a look at some of his stats now. They'll come up on the screen. For minutes played, he played 80 minutes, 137 metres made, 15 carries, kept the ball in hand 96% of the time. Broken tackles, he broke 5 tackles. Then on the defensive side, 5 tackles made, 100% tackle success rate, 100% dominant tackle. So each tackle had an impact and made a difference. And then he won 1 turnover. In fact, you got to think that he's probably the form centre at the minute, and he was the best centre over the course of the weekend. So he certainly has to go in, even though he was on the losing team. Heading over to a winning side this weekend to the Scottish team is Cameron Redpath, in on his debut, and what a debut this man had. Chose Scotland over England, followed his father's country, and what a decision I believe this will be for him. He was so comfortable with ball in hand. He made the right runs. He kicked when he was meant to. He had a really crucial turnover next to the end of the game as England were looking to attack. He was brilliant, and he played with a maturity beyond his years. He just did the simple things very, very well. I was very impressed by him, and that bodes very well for Scotland. So Cameron Redpath is going alongside Gary Vayneros in the centre. This back line is beginning to look really, really tasty. Heading on to the final winger of the game, and we're heading over to Wales. We've got the 2 posters behind me here, but we're heading over to Wales. Louis Rees-Zammit is in my team, only just over Duran van der Merwe. I thought he played very well for Scotland, so honourable mention to him. But Louis Rees-Zammit played really well in this game for me. A try, a fantastic, well-taken try in the corner. He had a couple of decent runs, 100% tackle success rate on the day, and once again played with a maturity beyond his years. Had a few nice little runs here and there. Injury at the end will be a concern. We'll have to see what the update is on that, as 4 Wales players are confirmed to be out for next weekend's game against Scotland, which will be a blow for us. But a brilliant performance from Louis Rees-Zammit. Heading into the fly half position, then I've got Owen Farrell. I'm joking. Owen Farrell is not in my team at all. I've gone with Johnny Sexton. I was really struggling to find a 10 that I believe I played particularly well this weekend. I didn't feel like Dan Biggar stood out for Wales. I didn't feel like Jalibert or Gav Beasy or Finn Russell or Farrell stood out at all. So I've gone with Sexton. I actually think he controlled the game pretty well. He kicked very well. He took the ball into contact well. But it was very difficult to pick a 10 because I don't feel any of them particularly stood out this weekend. But Johnny Sexton goes into this team, and if he is going to be injured for next weekend, that's going to be a big blow for Ireland. He said in his press conference that he's going to have the HIA protocols over the next few days to see if he'll be fit for that game against France, so we'll have to wait and see. Heading then to the scrum half, the final back in the team is the best scrum half in the world. It's Antoine Dupont. This guy was electrifying. Got a try, 4 try assists, His grubber for Facu was out of this world. And the way that he leads this team now, the way that he's such a leader on the pitch, he grabs the game by the scruff of the neck and really pushes this team forward. I was so impressed by the way France played. And honestly, I don't think France got out of fourth or fifth gear in this game. It was that comfortable for them. A lot of question marks about Italy. I'm going to make a video about Italy specifically during the course of the week. And some of the stats may surprise you on where Italy are at the minute. But Dupont, best 9 in the world, and absolutely showed that on Saturday against Italy. It was a comfortable game for France, but Dupont showed up and the stats don't lie. So there we go. We have done the backs. We're moving on to the forwards. If you are enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video, and of course comment your thoughts down below. Number 8 then, number 8 jersey for me has got to be CJ Stander. What a performance from him, and surely he has got to be the starting number 8 for the Lions if it all happens this year or next year. I can't really see any of the other 4 nations. Number 8 is really standing a chance against this guy, especially if he's in the form that he is. 17 carries, 89 meters made, 9 tackles completed and 0 miss, giving him 100% tackle success rate. What a performance he had, and he really had to step up when Omani went off. That's a big physical loss for Ireland, and he put a heck of a shift in. So fair play to him. And again, Ireland very unfortunate not to win this weekend. If they'd had that extra man on the pitch, who knows what would have happened. Heading then into the back row, number 7 shirt has got to be Hamish Watson, the man who hit the ball off as Scotland beat England. But again, his just all-round play was brilliant around the park. Turnovers here and there, brilliant tackles, and also he's fantastic in the loose. We know that. And what Scotland did so well in the game was they played in the right areas of the pitch, and he really was at the forefront of that, taking the ball into contact when necessary and passing the ball out wide also when necessary. A really good performance from Hamish Watson. In the number 6 then jersey, we're heading back to the French. Dylan Cretin is into the team, got a try on his 6th cap for France, and he's actually quite a prolific try scorer for Lyon. He has scored 10 tries in 70 appearances from his position in the number 6 jersey for Lyon in the top 14 over the course of his career. Only 23, going to get a lot better. He is certainly one for the future, and I was very, very impressed by his all-round game on Saturday. Heading into the 2 locks then, we head back to Scotland and to Johnny Gray. What a performance this was from the Exeter Chiefs player. He put a heck of a shift in this game. Lots of tackles completed, great in the line-out. Scotland's line-out was insanely good, and we'll get to that with a hooker later on, but insanely good. And he was one of the reasons why they were winning so much in the line. He's been a menace in the breakdown, been a menace in the driving maul. England's driving maul didn't really get going at all, and he really was disrupting that. Legally or illegally, that's another question, but if you get away with it, you get away with it. He put in a heck of a shift on Saturday night. Interestingly, I've got an Englishman alongside Johnny Gray. I've gone with Maro Itoje. Now, I was struggling with this position. Alan Wynne-Jones, I thought, had a very good game for Wales. His stats are through the roof, but I don't feel like it was that great a performance from him. But Maro Itoje caused a lot of problems in that opening 10 and 15 minutes for Scotland. Ali Price just dawdling on the ball, and this was something England obviously had noticed before with targeting, and he got 2 charge downs early on the watch along. We were watching, myself and Kyle were getting a bit nervy about that for Scotland, but Scotland dealt with it. But he's just a bit of a menace around the pitch. Would like to have seen him with a bit more ball in hand, but his leadership qualities are something that we're going to need to see more now. As Owen Farrell, I just don't believe is captain material, and I think something may change a little bit there for England over the coming year or so. But a very impressive performance from Maro Itoje. He goes into my team. He goes into my team on a loss, unfortunately for him, but he played very, very well. Heading into the front row then, the final 3 players on this team before we get to the coach of the weekend. Zander Ferguson goes in for me. This Scottish front row, maybe some people are a little bit concerned about it going in against the power of the English, but they coped in the scrum, which is a huge win for them. They coped in the line-out, they coped in the driving maul, and in the loose. These players were very, very clever. Again, as I said it before in this video and in reviews I've done on this game, they played in the right areas of the pitch, and Zander Ferguson knew when to take the ball into contact, knew when to pass the ball out wide, and knew when to just put his head down and just take the hit. He was brilliant all around the pitch and did a really good job in his scrummaging game. The hooker position then once again goes to a Scotsman. It is Turner. George Turner is the hooker for this game. 3rd choice hooker, an injury crisis at hooker. We did this in the preview, and wow, what a performance from him. His line out throwing was brilliant. His work in the scrum, his work in the loose was brilliant. What a performance from him. Really, really impressed once again by him. And I think he will start against Wales. And that'll be a concern for Wales from a Welsh fan's point of view. Our line-out was pretty shambolic once again. And Scotland having so much success against a team who dominates set pieces, that's going to be a big concern for Wales, but a big plus for Scotland. And finally, the final player in this team, he got man of the match in the Wales against Ireland game. I don't know if I agree with that completely, but he got man of the match. It is Wyn Jones. Got a fantastic turnover and a beautiful offload that you'd expect some Fijian to do, let alone a Welsh prop do. But Wyn Jones, a great performance from that side, putting quite a few tackles, a couple of carries here and there. And actually, our scrum didn't look too bad yesterday. Our line-out was questionable, but our scrum looked decent. I thought he scrummaged pretty well against the likes of Key and Healy. So that would be a big plus for us. Again, putting a shift defensively. And I think our defence looked a lot better, a lot more organised against the Irish. And finally, who is going to be the coach of the weekend? That's got to be Gregor Townsend. It cannot be anyone else. A mastermind of a performance. Yes, England were poor, but as I've said before many times in this game, Scotland played in the right areas of the pitch. They kicked when they needed to. They played the right style. The problem with Scotland, you felt during the World Cup, was they were trying to throw it around way too much. It looks great, but does it always work? You have to have that game management. That's how teams grind out results when they're not playing well. That's the sign of a good team. And this Scotland team is a good side. And you should go into next weekend's game against us in a lot of confidence, for sure. So there we go. That is my team of the round, my dream team. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll be eager to hear who would you put in your team. Also, over the next few days, loads of videos coming out. We've got an Italy special coming out on Wednesday evening, hopefully. Then heading into Friday, we'll have 2 previews for the Saturday games. We'll also do watch-alongs for the England against Italy game here on the channel, then on the 3bod Rugby Group Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. We'll do a Wales against Scotland special where there'll be 2 Wales fans and 2 Scottish fans. And then on Sunday, we'll also do an Ireland against France watch along. There'll be reactions, there'll be dream teams, there'll be a whole host of things coming out over the next week or so as we continue this brilliant tournament that is the Six Nations. So if you want to stick around for that, make sure to subscribe. It's free to do, as I said before. And also it helps us to push towards that 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and enjoy the build-up to the rugby on the weekend.